This branded AI dropshipping store has made $427,000 in the last 10 months. And the best part is that I am now exiting the store. So all in all, it will have brought me 6 figures in profit in only 1 year with only one single store. What's even better is that you can do the exact same thing if you apply the things that I will teach you in this video. So let's get straight to it, and I'll show you exactly how you can do the exact same thing to get the exact same results. So first of all, let's get some principles down. You have been told some bullshit. Most gurus will tell you, well, I can't pinpoint one thing because they will all say different things. And maybe something that I will tell you now will sound different too, but I can promise you that it is exactly what I have done. So as long as you apply it, it's going to work out. First of all, stop trying to find a winning product. Okay, there's no magical winning product in dropshipping. Beginners will get into this assumption that if they find this one winning product and finally make a website for it, they're going to start printing money. That is not how it works, and I will break down why as we go through this video. You also can't find a secret niche that is untapped. Matter of fact, you shouldn't try to find an untapped niche. Sometimes it's better to run in a very saturated niche. This can differ from product to product, and I'm going to break this down as well. But this is one misconception that you should let go of too. And the biggest thing is that you are not dropshipping. You believe that you're dropshipping, right? Because that's the business model. That's what I named the title. That's what people call it. And that is what it is. But you have to change your view. You are not just dropshipping. You're running a real business. And this is the biggest mistake I see on the internet when I talk to people, when they reach out to me. They don't have a long-term outlook on it. They just want to run this random thing. Most people think of it as a side hustle, but you cannot do that. This is a real business you're running. And don't get me wrong, you can 100% run it as a side hustle alongside your 9 to 5. Many of my students do that. That is not a problem. What I'm saying is you have to treat it like a business. It's not just a thing where you take a product and you put it on your store and it starts making money. It can be simple, but you have to treat it like a real business. And as soon as you start doing that, it will make a difference. So what do? First of all, you want to look for products that do sell well. A lot of people will try to find a secret product, as I said, go on Alibaba. It's trending, but it hasn't been taken into Facebook yet, etc., etc. There is a reason it's selling well. So you want to get a piece of that pie. If it's selling well on Facebook, on Google Ads, on Instagram, whatever, on Shopify, obviously, since that's the platform we use to host the website. But if it is selling well, there's a reason behind it. And you can get a piece of that pie. When you look at Nike, Adidas, all these sports brands, I don't know, iPhone, like Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, right? They're more or less all selling the same product, right? They do have some differentiators, but they are in the same niche. But they're all still making money because they have a piece of the pie. And that's how you want to think of it as well. And by the way, before I keep going, you want to look for products that sell well on the Facebook Meta Ad Library. That is how I do it. That is how all my students do it. It is a very simple tool, but it is great. And the easiest method. So I have told you that you want to find a product, right? But there is a very easy method that beginners are using over and over again. And I have done this myself. And the store that I just showed you is exactly how I created that store. And this is the method. Take something that's working into another untapped market. So you don't want to overthink it. You don't want to try to come up with this most original idea, right? There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So what you're literally going to do is take something that's working into another untapped market. And before we keep going, I want to tell you that please don't just copy something that you find, right? I'm not telling you to find something in a certain market and then copy that exact same thing and then launch it in another market. That's not what I'm doing, that is not what I'm telling you to do. You have to create your own branding. You have to create your own brand. As I said, you want to treat this as a real brand, real business that you are creating. And you just want to launch the same product with the same marketing approach in another market through your own branding. And I'm going to tell you how to do this. So as you can see right here, how do you do this? So step 1. Look for products that sell well. As I previously mentioned up there as well, you want to look for products that are already selling on the Facebook Meta Ad Library. There's a reason it's selling well. You want to get a piece of that pie. It's that simple. No need to overcomplicate it. I repeated this twice. So yeah, you want to, there's a reason it's selling well, get a piece of the pie. And then step 2 is you want to identify the market it is not active in. Ideally, you want to identify a market in one of the big 5. So New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. You want to identify the market that this product is not active in or hasn't been scaled in yet. You can check this through the Facebook Meta Ad Library again. You want to use keywords. After you find a certain product, let's say in the US, you want to use these keywords and search other markets on the Facebook Meta Ad Library to see if these products are running with the same approach in these other markets. And the great thing is, if you find something in one market that is scaling very well that hasn't been brought into another market yet, it also means that it has European potential. And what I mean by this is, first of all, if you can launch it in one of the big 5 markets, right? But let's say it's already been scaled there. In a lot of the cases, if someone or a product has been scaling well in the big 5 markets that I counted, there's a very good chance that it has not been taken to the EU yet. And by that, I mean to Europe, just in case you don't know. And these markets would be Germany. Germany is a great market. There's Netherlands, Belgium as a group, right? There is France, there is Switzerland. So there are many markets in Europe that are very good. And you may be thinking, oh, I only know English. How am I meant to launch? Like, what? You never heard of this, right? Because you think that the people that are doing well are just launching whatever market they want. They don't do that. They launch in whichever market has the biggest opportunity. And I can tell you that I know so many people that only speak English and they're running stores in, I don't know, in Arabic, in any like any language that you can think of that they do not know. So get that out of your head. We have translator tools now, and this is where the AI comes in, right? You want to utilize AI to translate stuff, to create different kinds of stores, and translation is included in this. So I'm not necessarily saying you have to launch in the EU that has a different language that you may not know. If you know a European language, even better. If you're from a European country, take a product from the US or Canada and launch it for the first time in Europe. There's a very good chance that it will do well if you execute properly. So yeah, all I'm saying is you can launch in many markets, but do not limit yourself. Just because you don't know the language doesn't mean you can't launch there. But as a beginner, I would advise you to launch to a country where you do know the native language. So step 3, your job is to solve a major problem for a specific group of people, not sell a product. So this is another thing that many people get wrong. You are not trying to sell a product. You're trying to solve a major problem for a specific group of people, and your job is to communicate that. A lot of people will put the product on their website and say, okay, how can I sell this product? What can I do, right? And you think that your job is to sell the product. That is the worst way you can look at it. Your job is to make the customer happy, is to make sure they feel heard when they come to the website. That you have to make sure that they feel inclined to buy it, that they trust you. There are many aspects to this. But your job is not just to sell the product. You have to solve a major problem for the customer so that they have no other choice but to purchase. So forget the features of the product, right? If you're selling a blender, I'm just completely making this up on the spot, right? But if you're selling a blender, don't talk about how sharp the blades are and how fast it is and it can, blend it within 30 seconds, right? If you have a specific niche, let's say mothers, right? You want to sell this blender to mothers. Talk about how this blender will save time when they're making a meal for their baby. They have to, spend 15 minutes less every day trying to mash up potatoes and fruits and vegetables while their newborn baby is crying in the back. Not newborn. I mean, you get what I mean, right? Just any baby. I don't know the baby stuff, but that's what I'm saying. Instead of focusing on the features of the product where it's fast, focus on the dream outcome for the customer. So in this case, the mother doesn't want to deal with a crying baby while they're trying to cook up a meal. So you can sell this blender and say, look, like this is going to save you time and is made specifically for you to blend this food as quick as possible so that you can get rid of the stress. So this is just an example. I'm not saying go and run this product this way. I just want to put it into perspective for you to understand. And step 4 is you want to establish your customer persona research, and this also kind of ties down to what I just said. You really want to establish who your customer is. Once again, a lot of people will find a product and then just try to sell the product. But what you want to do is, once again, sell the dream outcome. And for that, you have to establish who your ideal customer is. Who is the person that is going to be purchasing from your website. You have to understand them. You have to confront them with their fears and then present your product as the ultimate solution. How do you do this? Research, the boring work. I didn't like this either. When I first got into this and I found out that people were doing some deep research, I was like, fuck, I thought this was easy. I don't want to fucking scroll on Google and Reddit for 3 hours and read people's experiences, but this is part of it. The more you know and learn about your customer, the more you can understand them, which means that you'll have a better website that talks to them, right? You'll have better ads that directly gets them to click. This is extremely important. You have to do research. Step 5, you have the product, right? You found the product, you found a market that you're gonna launch into, and now you want to create your own branding around it. So how do you do that? You talk to AI. This is once again where the AI comes in. Use ChatGPT as your personal assistant, right? One thing that I was doing wrong when I first started, and I even did this in school, sometimes I'd forget that AI existed, and at this point I believe most of us do use it for many parts of our lives, but get used to using it. I'm not saying use it for your personal life, but what I'm saying is when you're trying to make something work, brainstorm with it, because it is a very intelligent tool, right? So anytime you're trying to come up with an idea, go back and forth, right? Brainstorm. This is very useful. So when you're creating your own branding, you can tell ChatGPT, look, like this is the brand that I found. This is my idea. I want to launch something similar in this market. How can I create my own branding around it? What colors can I change so it still fits the idea? What kind of logo? What kind of name? Then you start creating your brand identity. This is exactly how you want to do it. And then realize the importance of your competitors, right? You created your branding, and another big aspect of this is actually realizing how important your competitors are. You want to make a list of the competitors that you have. So you found the product, right? Add that competitor where you found the product to the list. Now find more people that are selling the same product, or a product that's solving the same issue, right? It doesn't matter if it's the same product. The marketing is the main thing. You want to be focused on the outcome that you bring to the customer. So if you have a chair versus a pill, right, that gets rid of back pain, the advertising angles are going to be very similar. That's what you want to be focusing on, because the focus is not the product, it is the outcome for the customer. So yeah, you want to realize the importance of your competitors, and while you're looking for competitors, you don't have to necessarily look for competitors that are selling the exact same product. That's also another thing. And then what you want to do is you want to launch in only one market with Facebook ads. And just to run you over again, you found a product, you created your own branding around it, right? And then you did your research, you understand your customer, you make a website for it. And another thing, realize that I forget to mention here, make your website and ads based on this with your branding. So make your website and ads based on your competitor. That's why we make a list. They're very important. You can refer back to them. A competitor is literally a blueprint telling you exactly what you have to do to run this product successfully. So take inspiration. Don't copy, but take inspiration. And your aim here is to test, right? When you do these changes to your website, when you make a certain website, your aim is to test what's working. So it's okay to use what your competitor is using, and then later on you can develop into your own brand. But once again, do not directly copy. Don't just screenshot their ads and put it on your Facebook ads, or don't screenshot their website. You don't want to do that. We're not copying anyone. We're still creating our own brand. And to make those creatives as well, you want to and you make creatives and website assets. You want to use Google Nano Banana and ChatGPT, as I said before. You want to use ChatGPT for many things, but mainly to generate images. Google Nano Banana is really good, and it's also very good at editing images, especially if it's Nano Banana Pro. So just a side note. So yeah, you want to launch in only one market with Facebook ads, and the product doesn't matter. As I said, the problem you solve does. That's what you want to focus on. And then what do? So you have some specific questions as well, of course. So I'm saying launch on Facebook, but how exactly, etc. What do I do after, right? So you want to launch a CBO campaign on Facebook ads with a budget of $50 to $100 per day. You want to run this for at least 2 to 3 days. And you want to have one single creative or ad for $10 of ad budget that you have. So if you're running at 50, you want to have 5 creatives. If you're running at 100, you want to have 10 creatives. And you have to run this campaign for at least 2 to 3 days. And those creatives ads that you're making, you want to use your competitor, right? You want to see what kind of ads are they running, what kind of things are they using on their ads to get the customer's attention, to make the customer feel understood. Once again, your competitor really is a gold mine here. You want to make use of them. You want to make sure you take that inspiration, because once again, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You're not a pro at this. You haven't been building brands for 20 years. You don't have to put that pressure on yourself to come up with this new magical idea. Just use what's already working and then put your own twist on it. This is how almost everyone succeeds. And a very big note, right? I understand that it's scary to launch ads at first because it feels like you're throwing money into the fire. But I just want to say that you're not running ads to get profitable initially. There is a very good chance that you can get profitable the first, second day. That's happened to me. But there's a higher chance that you will not. So how you want to view it is that you're running ads to buy data. Nothing more. That is it. And since you're already running for at least 2 to 3 days, you cannot run less than 2 to 3 days when you first launch. You have to let it run, even if there are no sales initially, because you're buying data. So after you run for those 2 to 3 days, you want to use your ad metrics and Shopify data and then take action and make improvements. You have to be fast and be flexible as well, right? You want to make changes quick. You want to see what's going wrong and then be flexible and then get those done. And the best trade is flexibility and moving fast. Don't attach, just take action. So as I said, you want to be flexible and move fast. So let's say you test an idea. It didn't work after 4 or 5 days. You don't see any potential, no sales. Move on to the next thing. Don't attach yourself to this thing. You just have to take action, and the people that do the best in this space are the ones that move the fastest. The people that I know that are doing the best, they don't attach themselves to whatever they create. If something doesn't work, they get rid of it and then replace it and then test. The faster you test new things, the faster you test new ideas, the better you're going to get, first of all. And then just in terms of mathematical probability, you're more likely to succeed because you're testing more things faster. So you're failing faster so that you can succeed faster, basically. So this is kind of what you want to do. And yeah, this is exactly how I built my brand that I just showed to you guys. This is how I created this, how I came up with the idea, how I tested it. This is step by step exactly what I did. And just to tell you once more, you want to do research, find a product, find the pain points of the customer that you're advertising to, make a list of competitors, make sure you understand them, make sure you understand your customer, make sure you take inspiration from them, and you want to make your own website with your own branding, taking inspiration from the list of competitors that you have. And then once you have this website, you want to advertise in a similar manner as your competitor and then launch these ads on Facebook ads. And then from there on out, it is a matter of looking at your ads, seeing what's working, seeing what's not, optimizing, right? Doing more of what's working and doing less of what's not working. And then from there, I can promise you that you will already get your first sale. If you do everything that I told you here, you're gonna get your first sale. And if you have the right product and with the right advertising, and you fix the right mistakes, you can 100% scale just as much as I did. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. And if you want to work with me or my team one-on-one, you can reach out to me on Instagram or book a call directly from the description. Hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching.